Have you ever taken out your sketchbook and just been so excited to create an amazing piece of art, and you have all these ideas and you want to bring them to life in your sketchbook, but as you page through the sketchbook and you get to that next blank page where you're ready to create, you just look at the page and you feel stuck, like you can't create? Well, I'm here to tell you that don't overthink it, just start creating. Now, recently, I've also been feeling this way where I just didn't know what to create. I have all these ideas and I want to create all of them, but at the same time, I don't know how to start any of them, and I don't know where to begin, and I'm just not getting a painting right. I actually tried painting one or two pieces. One I left incomplete, one I wasn't happy with, and there were so many mistakes that I could change, and it was just not working out for me. And I was lost and I didn't know what to do with my art and how to go about getting back into my art. And I had a lot of ideas. It's just that when I got it down onto paper, it just was not turning out the way I wanted it to. And it was just not working out for me. And I was so excited to create when I thought of an idea, but those ideas, I wasn't able to get them the way I wanted them to be, or I wasn't even brave enough to try and get those ideas onto paper, and I never give it a try. So I was in this predicament, and I was like, okay, what do I do now? Because I don't want to, I want to create, but I don't know how to go about creating. I felt a bit disheartened by the previous two pieces that didn't turn out the way I wanted them to, or the way I envisioned them to be. And then I just sat down and thought, you know what? I'm just going to create something, anything, one of my ideas. I'm just going to grab one of them that I wanted to try for a long time, and I'm going to just work on it and create it from beginning to end. Not worry about the final result, just create and enjoy the process of creating. So that brings me to the painting or the drawing illustration that I'm doing now. Now, this is really not a style that I usually paint in. My style is usually more realistic looking and not so much more illustrative. So I was taking a big chance on doing something that was out of my comfort zone and something that I wasn't sure if I'm gonna get it right. And yeah, I gathered all my gouache paints, the colors that I was going to be using, which were also not all the colors that I would usually gravitate towards with my paintings and drawings. But at the same time, I wanted to try something different, and I really wanted to step out of my comfort zone and do something different. So I created this illustration of an owl, but this owl has got more of a stylized look to it. It has a lot of patterns and designs on it. It's not a realistic owl at all. It is more of an illustration and a fun drawing that I think that I wanted to just have fun with colors and that I haven't tried before, and just put those colors onto paper, draw those designs, paint out those designs, and just see how everything ties in with one another. So I started off with a graphite sketch, and then I lightened the sketch and I began painting in the colors for this particular illustration. Now at this stage, I really didn't know where I was going to go with this, and I didn't know how it was going to turn out. Was it going to look good? Was it not going to look good? I was really not sure, but I just continued and persevered through it and just continued painting. So you can see I started with the eyes, I started worked on the beak, the ears, I did a bit of the outline, and then I started just adding all the little design elements or the little symbols and patterns that are on this illustration of this owl. So like I said, this is really out of my comfort zone and something I've never done before, but it is something I've been wanting to do. So from all my ideas, I just picked this one and it stood out to me, and I was like, I'm going to create this painting. Whether it turns out good or not, I'm going to just work on it. Because I had the previous two paintings that I did not turn out the way I wanted to. I felt a bit disheartened by it. But then again, I also thought about what I've learned from it, of what works and what doesn't work, and what not to do again in the next piece. So it did teach me a lot, and I did learn from it. So working on this piece, I just worked on it slowly and took my time and didn't really focus too much on perfection or too much on like real detailed work. It's a more illustrative piece, and I want to just have fun with it and let the colors just do their thing with this piece. So I started painting in the tail, which was so much fun to paint with a brush and get those brush strokes in. And as I was working on this, it was really, really surprising to see how the image was coming together with all the design elements. Some of the initial sketches of the symbols and patterns on the body of the owl and on the wings, I did not keep to the end, or I changed them about as I was painting. But I just let the process guide me. I didn't try to force it or try to um, make it something more realistic. I just tried to go with what it is. It's more a stylized illustrative piece, and I just worked on it like that, step by step, section by section. I just started painting with different colors, taking note of where I'm putting the browns and the greens and the yellows and yellow ochre. And I just started painting in the areas and just outlining the wings. And I honestly had no plan for this painting because I just wanted to paint, and I wanted to sort of redeem myself for how the past two paintings didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. And I just wanted to create something that may not be perfect, but something that I can get back into the flow of creating. And that's the most important thing. If you're going through artist block, or if you're going through a point where you're stuck with your art, or things are not turning out the way you want them to, it's important to just take some time to create artwork that, even if it's not your perfect work, or if it may not come out perfect, but just get into the flow of creating. Even if you're creating something that's simple and something that's not very complicated, just take your time to create that and not focus on worrying about how's it going to turn out or anything like that. Just get into the flow of the process of creating and worry about that. Once you start creating, you will be past that block and you'll automatically start creating more. And I saw this for myself. Had this art block, or I had an art block many times throughout my art career and throughout my art journey. And it's very important to not pay attention to the creating your art the way that you envisioned it, and just to enjoy the process and see where it takes you. So it's important to pay attention to that and just let your art piece direct you and guide you to where it needs to go. So that's what I did with this piece. I wanted the painting to just reflect the colors that I used and the design element of it, where it was more of a symbols and patterns and colors that were together, colors that were not colors I'm used to using. But I wanted to just bring that all together and see how I could make it work, and at the same time just have fun with the process. And that's what's so important for you to do when you are working on a piece, especially if you're going through a hard time where you're stuck with your art and not able to create anything, or you're creating artwork that you're not happy with. But bear in mind always that artwork that you create, even though it's not the way you envisioned it, it is artwork that you are learning something from, because there's a lot that I learned that I can improve on those pieces that didn't come out the way I wanted them to. So I looked at them and I now can see where my mistakes were and what I can do better the next time if I choose to do those paintings again. And well, the one was left incomplete. I was considering finishing it, but I think I've passed that stage. It caused a bit of a block for me, so I don't want to go back there, so I just left it incomplete. Remember, your sketchbook doesn't have to be perfect, and you may have incomplete artwork in there, you may have artwork you don't like in there, artwork that didn't turn out the way you wanted, but it's all part of your art journey and the journey as an artist. So with this piece, I also let it guide me and just let the paint flow on the paper, let the colors all blend together, and just worked on whatever my intuition told me to do at that time, or what I felt like doing. I had no plan. I just went in, drew the owl, drew the patterns all over its body and wings, and then just went in with the paint, not paying attention to what colors exactly I'm using. Obviously I did consider the colors where they must not overlap one another or mustn't be competing with each other. I didn't plan for where everything's gonna go. I just worked on the colors and just tried to spread them out so that they could look even and they look cohesive, and the bird is completely like cohesive. Its wings are cohesive to its body, and just bring a little elements from all the colors from the wings to the body and the body to the wings, so it all becomes one piece. So that's basically what I did for this piece. And honestly, at the end of this piece, there's a lot of things I could have changed. Maybe made it a bit lighter, used a lighter shade of brown. But then at the same time, I just wanted to accept the fact that it did help me by doing this piece and just pushing through and completing it, because it helped me to get back into my creative zone where I'm creating and I'm not feeling stuck anymore. So it got me out of that stuck position where I wasn't able to create any of my ideas. because I took one of my ideas and I brought it to life on paper, and it's actually in front of me and I can see what I've created. And I was actually quite happy with this one. It may not be my favorite piece, but it's one that I am proud of, that it helped me a lot, and it's one that I enjoyed the process of it, because I let the process guide me and I just worked on the process, followed my intuition, used the paint and colors and let that guide me. And honestly, it helped a lot and I learned a lot from it. I'm quite happy with the piece, and definitely it did help me improve. So my point in this video that I wanted to come across to you is that don't give up, don't feel stuck. If you have a point where you reach a point where you feel stuck, just start creating anything. Even if it's not one of your ideas, create something. Once you create, you will get out of that stuck position or art block, and you will automatically start creating. Even if it's not your perfect artwork that you like or something that you're very happy with, you still learn from it. And that's what this piece has done for me. It's helped me learn from it and helped me to be free and create again and not be stuck anymore. So I guess that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, don't forget to like and share. Feel free to comment below and don't forget to subscribe. Till the next one. Bye.